Today is all about crazy. The crazy Liberty Day Major Order, a new crazy Helldiver movie, and even more craziness surrounding last week's patch. And I've got all of this for you and more, so just sit back and relax while the finest in daily democracy is served up with style. In case you want to help support the channel, you know what to do. And also, if you're watching on mobile, don't forget to swipe across in that comment section and hype the video, which helps out with YouTube. And now, here's the latest with Helldivers. Yesterday's Liberty Day was absolutely mental, which we're going to get into in just a moment, but first, here's the latest from HQ. Liberty Day has been a triumphant success. Helldivers everywhere have demonstrated peerless marksmanship with the traditional R2124 Constitution, celebrating Liberty Day with inspirational patriotic fervor, and spreading managed democracy's joyous message throughout the galaxy. As promised, the official Liberty Day commemorative cape will soon be distributed to all active Helldivers, as a token of the Federation's boundless gratitude and preeminence. Wear it proudly as a symbol of our unity, of our forebearers, and of the unyielding spirit that defends Super Earth now and forever. Though the celebration is over, let the memory of our democratic oneness fuel your resolve as we now return, refreshed, to the ongoing fight for freedom. Now, for many in the community, me included, it was a bit of a shocker to log on today and find out that we had won this insane 40 million kills with the Constitution in 24 hours Major Order, because when I logged off last night with right around 5-ish minutes to go on this MO, we were only at about 32 million, maybe it was 34 million and change. I don't honestly remember, but I thought there was no way we were going to pull this one off. Reports are that enough of the community made an uproar about the Connie bayonet kills not counting, so Arrowhead went in and retroactively counted those as well, adding them to our ballistic kills, and somehow that total met the threshold? I honestly don't know what happened. Was the studio actively tracking those melee kills? Were they not? Was this just a freebie? You know, I'm just glad to hang the Connie up for another year, but we do have some new info on this topic that just hit the news sites. GamesRadar caught wind of this odd Connie Major Order ask and dove a little deeper into it as well. Here's their headline: Helldivers 2 players accept the win and the free cape after Arrowhead miraculously finds millions of extra Liberty Day kills under a rug. Quote, "We can only track melee or bullets, and we went with the bullet kills." Rejoice, for Liberty Day 2025 and Helldivers 2 was a resounding success for all. To mark the occasion, all players will receive a commemorative cape to signify their participation in another glorious day for democracy. What were the exact margins, you may be asking? Don't worry about such frivolous concerns. There were enough dead bodies, I assure you. Or Arrowhead Game Studios assures everyone the overall objective and whether or not it was accomplished are slightly spurious. The mission was to get 40 million combined kills across the whole community using the R2124 Constitution. Seems pretty simple, right? Well, a quirk in the counting made things tricky. The Constitution can fire bullets and has a bayonet attachment for melee damage. Both should count towards the overall target, except the in-game metrics only give Arrowhead either gunshots or melee, not combined. For the official readout, according to a dev on the official Discord, the team went with bullets, gunfire, as that was likely to be the majority of what people used. But that excludes a significant amount of bugs, androids, and other slain adversaries because of the bayonet, perhaps even leaving the global community at a deficit. The remedy is simple: act like everyone got over the finish line as intended and give out the award to all. As a Reddit commenter points out, it's a classic faux pas often solved in tabletop games with the GM, or Games Master, rolling some hidden dice and just handing over the win because they've realized there's a quirk in the mission they hadn't thought about. So there you go, and kind of what the Helldivers community suspected. Arrowhead could only track one or the other, bullets or bayonets, and we were far behind the 40 million total with minutes to go, so it looks like managed democracy lent us a helping hand to get us over the finish line, or at least according to the article and its sources. Now, outside of this bonkers Constitution major order task, the Helldivers Discord was running all sorts of Liberty Day events like the 24 hours of fireworks you could view if you took your Super Destroyer to Super Earth orbit, the Whack-A-Mole or Whack-A-Terminid game they were also running, along with striking the mandatory salute and even giving Helldivers the opportunity to pledge their unwavering support for Super Earth by taking the Oath of Enlistment. Which, by the way, I got to do earlier this year in front of a giant bronze Helldiver statue while at Arrowhead HQ, as John Helldiver himself took me through the pledge. Now, one topic related to yesterday is something I've received quite a few pings about, and it's the ask or question why this year's rewards were light, only seeing a single cape. Now, when you compare this year to past years, including back into Helldivers 1, there was all sorts of things there, like special ammo rewards, multiple capes, new difficulties revealed, and even when compared to last year, we received the Constitution and the DP00 tactical armor with Democracy Protects. Next up, we need to turn to the community, and I received a ping from Caleb over at Plot Coalition, and if you're not familiar with their Helldivers content, it's all crazy custom HD2 action sequences, and some of you may recognize that name because they're the ones behind the For Liberty teaser trailer that dropped about 8 months ago. Well, they just dropped another For Liberty trailer that's about to hit 70,000 views in just a day, which are super impressive numbers. And this is yet another trailer for their Helldivers movie set to come out at the end of November. Anyways, they sent over this super high-res version for me to show off for you here today. And of course, I'll drop a link to their channel and this latest trailer down in the video description. But yeah, badass looking stuff here from the PC crew. And I can't wait to see what they've got cooked up for November and that Helldivers film release. Of course, ever since Helldivers 2 dropped, players have wanted to not only call in Eagle Strikes, but to also take command of the fighters themselves, both in space, but also in low orbit, looking for aerial combat any way they can get it, which is where Fandom Wire ventured with this headline. Helldivers 2 fans' Eagle 1 demo stuns the community. Arrowhead should hire this genius now, with a further sub-headline that says, Helldivers 2 fan creates stunning Eagle 1 flight demo in UE5. Community demands Arrowhead make it real and take their super credits. Now, during this 28-second demo posted over to the Helldivers Reddit, links can be found both in the video description and pinned comments, it shows an eagle engaging in aerial combat against what looks like an Illuminate Stingray, all created in Unreal Engine 5. Here's a question for you, my viewers. Would you be down to have this in the game where you actually get to pilot your own eagle around like this? Drop a comment, and let's see where the community lands on this one. Now, I would like to add that the author of this tech demo intends for it to stay just that, a tech demo, as they've stated they have no plans to ship this thing out, but you know, as a PC player that actively combs through Nexus mods for something new and cool to try out, I'd be down to test this thing if it ever made it to the platform. Also in gaming news, the frustrations about the undocumented enemy buffs and the previous studio CEO statements that performance is still many months away from more meaningful improvement with more patches coming are both topics that are still making the rounds. Now, I've covered both of these quite a bit, so check my Helldivers 2 playlist for my previous coverage, but with the studio now placing future content and war bonds on hold to focus on improving the game's performance, players are going to start combing through things like announcements, and in the case of the last patch, the changes. And thanks to things like the data miners and even the Helldivers wiki, they're going to start finding those inconsistencies. The percentages are now known, the unpublished changes have been made public, and the discussions are ramping up within the community. For me, I always say it's just best to come clean. We all know that the CEO is fond of taking to Discord and holding informal Q&A sessions. Let's get some answers here. Post a blog or post a vlog going over what was done and why. Honesty and transparency are what the community needs most, especially with what Into the Untested did to the game and everything that's happened since. But here's where you get to sound off. Drop a comment about anything Helldivers, and I'll do my best to respond. Remember to hit subscribe and to ring the notifications bell to receive my future upload alerts. Thank you to all of our Buzz Battalion channel members and your support. And until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.